is not shying away from the fight just yet. And in fact, it's going to be Crashies that meets Sugetsu.
And they're expecting this re-aggression around mid. Important to take this control, but more importantly, they heard Alpha here take a step. So, towards middle, this is going to be a straight-up blitz to the B site. Reinforcements harder to get there. Banner now, he's slipped the net, he's made it past, and he's whiffed every shot. It looks like KC are a shoo-in to take this across the line. Alpha will try his best to recover.
That's now left all onto Boaster. The wrap around will gift him one. But that is all she wrote for the pistol. Cloud knowing he needs to break through this quickly, but even still, he's walking back into the hands of Dossier again. He did enough in this round, it seems, but still comes down to Aves. Of course, everybody at this point has already passed the angle. Cloud, he's been waiting the entire round for another fight. Was just patient with his push, and he knows there's another guy coming. Knowing and dealing with Dossier has been difficult, but now everybody on the other side is waiting and watching. With a man advantage, there's much more of a likelihood of them getting back into positioning down into that 2v2 scenario. And Levin is also going to activate his ult, but the spam is perfect. That was enough to close out this round. The time long gone, and KC with a lead once again. Okay, Levin's not quite quick enough, and neither is Dossier on the trade. An aggressive position from Boaster, but a spam could close the door and leave him alone, but maybe Crashies alone is enough. In fact, it will be. He was so wary about a player coming from behind that they're hightailing it towards the B site where Boaster is waiting. Dossier again. This fight could be everything. If Boaster gets this kill, it should be round over, but it seems like Aves spotted him. It doesn't matter. The IGL has closed this round for Dossier. He needs this kill within seconds, and he does get it, but he's not going to be quick enough. But we've also got Viper on the defense, and I think that's always an interesting talking point. Maybe not as interesting as the chamber-on-chamber action. There's already, we're going to see a couple, but then the trades are back immediate.
Give you that. And the tap, that should be the end. Cloud on the swing, and you can hear how close the steps were from Kayak.
But maybe that'll work out next time for Sugetsu. Kayak's position. Okay, never mind. We're talking about Cloud. Another couple. Althea there to support him. Got to be careful. He's being swung from the other angle. Again, this is incredibly costly and got dangerous. Down to just one man standing. They now have that information. But that was also just to give space over to Dossier. He's trying to bait Kayak into the fight, but it hasn't worked. Eventually, though, he will clear out Kayak and leave Boaster alone. But the time is already ticking, halfway gone. He needs to swing this, and the trade is perfect from Aves. It was a round that looked set to go the way of Fnatic, but KC, they fight back in.
Came through! Oh, just...
Spike down B.
It's done through. They're looking his way. Or they were, at least for a second. It seems like they do have somewhat of an idea that he's going to be coming from this position. Timing going to be everything, and he's got the timing perfect! Boaster takes over! The backstab! The knife twisted! So I'm guessing he's not used it, and it's just waiting on the other side. It's bait! It's a beautiful bait, but the reveal almost gives up Levin. He's going to get out of here, isn't he? No, he's put back! He's slid a little bit early, but luckily he had a teammate to throw down.
Position in the same old setup that we saw work for KC in the last fight. Oh no, it's not a bait! They ran! What? They ran through! I thought they were going to bait! One player takes the fight, the other stands in the corner. They just saw it happen. Crashies alone. Now the numbers were in his favor moments ago. He's going to deal with Narrate up close and personal. And he will. Bailing Fnatic out with a Red Bull clutch.
And now Kayak, who was known, they marked him on the map. It doesn't matter though, even on low HP, he is landing every shot in front of him. His third of the round, and Aves realizes he needs to bait them into the fight. He does just that, but Althea is a little bit more patient. Sits back a bit further, just needs a singular bullet to end it, and he will do so.
KC are in position, and now Aves has the info just in time. Alpha was about to be a real problem,
Well played.
But it looks like KC haven't lost hope just yet.
20 seconds, and they've been hit by the Nightfall as well. Aves has probably single-handedly won this round, and Levin gets to pick up the pieces at the end. Sure, that wraparound in the end from Boaster. For now, though, a lot of play towards this B site, and again, it's the same as on the other side.
He's sitting back, but Levin might go in. It looks like he wants to fight, maybe, but they lost everything that they had in the process. Narrate and Doja. They've been impressive so
He's
far.
so low.
Still, the numbers are stacked against them. The odds not in their favor, and with Narrate spotted, it is a done deal. 13-12, and another chance to close this map out for Fnatic.
With an opportunity to win the first summit in EMEA. I'm sure there'll be a million different learnings for them to take away from this one, but all they care about is the dub, although...
He thinks maybe he can get that res off a little bit later. I guess he's going to be our planter, and he steps away, stomps away so Alpha can get the strike onto Sugetsu.
This time with a trap on that B connector means that they can rotate to the other side. Cloud was walking with a wall out, and because of that, Levin's off angle. It wasn't traded properly.
30 seconds
They had
left.
no idea that anybody could be in that corner, and that's a massive mistake. The walkthrough, though, from Alfie might have just saved them. It's given them away onto the site, but Aves, again, good positioning. Sat back and catches Boaster with the C's. He's being flanked. He's missed the player in the smoke by a millisecond. Half a second is all it took, and the timing again from KC is spot on. Both peeking him at the exact same moment. He is alone, though. He's completely alone, but maybe that doesn't matter. Caught with util in hand. Water section things off, a chance for Cloud to fight this back. That spike drop. Now, if he drops that player, it's a huge problem for KC, but instead, he's just biding his time perfectly, denies the plan, and doesn't even need to fight Aves. He knows it because his teammates will arrive. They cleared Levin, no problem at all. And Crashies, it might be just a singular kill, but that singular kill was perfect.
Oh, the problem last time as well was the guy who got caught out was Crashies. And on the attack side, you lose yourself that fade, and it leads to maybe a player
He's
in
done
the
it
corner
again.
getting
That was
2
the same
kills.
spam. Who's he dogging for?
That's it. For himself, perhaps. Certainly not for Alpha here. That's another spam
Oh, no,
from
there's the
KC
Prowler.
successfully found.
He's got another
You just have
Prowler.
to face it, though, because Prowler, you kind of need for the site. Like, it's the problem is that you're
Or do that.
always in a bad
Yeah.
position in terms of the utility. You always have to take a risk, but that risk is paid off. That one, not so much. Great shot from Narrate.
Still in pocket.
Oh,
Aves is
Crashies.
flying. If Crashies kills him off, there's an opportunity, but he loses the fight. The information of where he is, there's nowhere left to go. Hit by every piece of utility that was remaining in the belt. Somehow, yet to take damage. There's one, but anything more, an impossibility. They narrowed out the angles, and okay, this one isn't flawless, but it still seems fairly comfortable for KC.
Kayak, that same spot Levin's been playing from. A stun, buys a little bit of time, and he'll reposition for the fight. Oh! Sugetsu! Man down for KC, and it's gone from bad to worse as Kayak shows up again. Levin all alone, but it's okay. So a bit blind in the walkout. That's perfect for Narrate. Oh, but he's missed the shot. Shot straight through the two of them, and now Cloud's the one to find a double. The man who could have been dead to rights, his eyebrows shaved a moment ago.
The Crashies maybe just deciding to back out, and they know he calls for reinforcements, and through the wall, another body hits the floor. Sugetsu and Levin, chances seem minimal, and Alfie still fighting, even on 4 HP. He's had enough. And while Levin, there is no way out of this corner. You can pad the stats. He doesn't even have enough bullets to kill everybody. It's Fnatic and an in-zone flawless to close out the game. 16-14, our first map of Summit. I don't know if any regions had a closer first map than that.
Play slow rounds and try to challenge for that control, but Narrate upset the rhythm a little bit. Great re-swing from Cloud, though. He was sitting.
Had to fire off that Paranoia a little bit earlier, and running back through would have a risk about it. Kayak, though, has dealt. There is not a lot of utility. In fact, not any utility to play with.
I must wait.
Last player
Well, the dry swings go about as well as you'd expect. Big round from Cloud. This is a very dangerous round. I thought different circumstances would see Fnatic find much safer ground to stand and fight from. Yet we end up in a 1v1. A painful round for Fnatic. This is ridiculous. Fnatic are barely surviving as KC thrive in the spam battle.
Oh,
The
no.
plant at least
Not
to be
the
found, but now
overdrive.
this ult. This is an insta-kill on any of these players. A laser that will take them down. 4-2 for KC.
I'll pick him.
Two dead.
One main.
Yeah, it's okay, I see it.
I'm not helping you.
I have 1 HP, 1 HP, Cypher.
Is Cloud as Alpha sneak? his way up top as Crashies waits to catch them on that rotate. But now the spike falling. Hunter's Fury will be deployed and Doja won't make it out of there. It's left to 1. Levin up against Crashies. He's already dealt with Alpha Air and the reposition.
He baited the steps. He
He's
baited the steps.
through, ready for him to swing up top, but 12 seconds left. I mean, Crashies has to go, and he has no idea that victory was just around the corner.
Fnatic know that those back angles are safe. That spam, though, has helped a lot. Crashies still stood in the corner. He's trying to be the snake in the grass, but again, Aves just spams. He's so good at finding players through the smoke, and now the raid drops Cloud. This is falling apart. The defusal already began. They need to start spamming. They need to stop them from defusing. The swing out, and it's enough from Alpha Air. He's had to play retake simulator a lot of this game. The B site pushes haven't happened too often, or if they have, it hasn't been him dealing the kills, but the first one is so quick. Again, it's another round that Cloud is almost single-handedly winning. Another saving grace from the new buy on the block, but not this time. Levin will make sure at least KC will go in with a lead. But let's be real, Mitch. It should have been a much bigger lead than this.
This should have been a much more convincing half indeed. 6 rounds in a row.
Because he has just caught the entirety of the team with a knife. I've just watched a player push spawn and not die. How did Levin get away with that? I'm almost certain they saw him. There you go, final boss himself. He's going to be the only defender. He's dodged the paranoia. But there's so many people calming down. Help from a teammate. Gave an opportunity! And this is why you don't run towards the B site. Luckily, Narrate makes sure it doesn't go any further.
Get right in there through heaven, and that's exactly where he's going. The rest of the squad through the door. They'll draw the eye. Cloud first to find a pick, and Aves down below, waiting for Narrate to emerge from the smoke, but there's enemies at the gates, and they've been shut out! Aves! Be a little bit too costly for KC. That could have been Doja down and Levin alone, and in fact, it would have been the round. But Doja still drawing breath. A man who had some incredible rounds on Summit and now steps up to new heights. But Cloud is hunting him down, and he'll find him before the TP is completed.
Boaster's position is being watched avidly and immediately eliminated.
And yet still, if he walked right now, he'd have a backstab on Kayak. They thought he was in main. The door closed, the ruse sold, but Kayak shut him down, and Alpha's still waiting. 8 seconds, just needs to drop the spike, but he can't get it done. Whoa, that's a risky reposition. That's a very risky reposition, and he'll live to regret it, if not for a quick shot from Sagetsu.
Fnatic reinventing the wheel and people about to start copying. Or is this going to be a complete failure? It's not gone great to the start. Levin on the raise. Well, okay. That was an interesting choice after getting 2 kills. The opposing side have a good idea. There could still be someone behind, but now he's all that's left. Of Adosia, that means he can just hightail it towards the site. Start that defusal. Force Cloud into a more awkward fight. He needs this kill almost immediately, and Narrate says, nah, don't look over there. You're still fighting me.
That is going to put even more wind in KC's sails, and well, he started off with an opening pick in the previous. This time, he's there to support as Aves finds one. That flash looked like it could have turned the tide a little bit for Fnatic, but the weaponry letting them down.
Paranoia will leave him blind. Already a lot of players here, and actually, I was going to say it went well, but it didn't. Dosia, a triple spray down, but he's still in that corner. 30 seconds left as they now look to make it to the site. Althea on that entry, but Narrate swings out from above. Even still, it ends up even, but bear in mind, there is a showstopper, but it's on the other side, and Althea just isn't missing. 12 HP made no difference.
Trade will come in far too quickly. He knows one player is low. Alpha dodges those shots by sheer chance, but this one harder to dodge, so he doesn't let the shot be fired.
Crashy's trying to avenge his fallen comrades by entering the vent, and that is, and I mean it, the worst possible timing. Maybe they forgot about what this ultimate could do. So much space to take. How's no one died yet? Finally, we'll see some players fall. But it's not gone the way of Fnatic. Maybe it has. Never mind. What do I know?
One enemy remaining.
In fact, it's gone
Oh my
amazingly.
goodness.
Couldn't have gone any better. Sugetsu, last man standing, and Crashies is going to close it out.
They don't quite have the sight. Fnatic still have 2 players to deal with, and okay,
What?
Narate's going to fall quite quickly. Abba is still standing his ground, though. He's taken down 1, but Crashies has made this an almost impossible task. Maybe not something we should say in the same sentence as Abez. His performance in the last stole the show. Boaster slipping past it, now sat up close. Levin suspects it! And now it's just 1 left to deal with. The showstopper locks it in. I thought Boaster had made the play to win the round, but fair play to Levin. And with no utility left, bar on Cloud, it's going to be tough. They have to do it with the rifles, and Cloud's being caught. They were watching the flank, but that's when Kayak turns up for Fnatic. Left it on. Oh, what?
What?
That shot was insane from Levin. Another needed onto Kayak. A right click could be enough. And although he finds all the kills, the clock is an enemy no man can defeat.
Well, that's a very aggressive stance. But it still ends up even. The spams onto Boaster at the back wall have been enough. Crashies goes unchecked, but is there a trade to be had? Yes, there is. And, well, again, swings and roundabouts.
But there's the information given to him. That was the utility, the signal he was waiting for, the strike onto Abez, but it's a bad man to swing. That puts him positive, but they haven't seen anything, and with a minute left on the clock, it's time to go. Just as KC stepped past the point of no return, but it looks like they'll at least mostly make it out, and the wall slowing them down, but Alpha's somehow gotten 2 over it. This is dangerous. He's got himself a 3rd.
Dosia still had his paranoia, looks to slow them down, but the position again, the position from Cloud is perfect. He's going to eliminate one of those rifle players that's left, all onto Dosia, and he doesn't have the right angle. It doesn't matter now though, Crashies has let go, and a chance to maybe save the day. I think the defusel's just going to come over the line. It is a Moda Thrifty, closed out by Cloud.
But stranger things have happened than a round like this going their way. Doja, oh my goodness, oh, the timing is insane! What is that fight? What? Okay, well, Alpha somehow gets out of there alive, ends up taking Narrate, ends up taking Aves! And you know what? He'll take the bloody round with it, Sugetsu!
He's reloading.
He's reloading! But finally gets it on the shorty. Jesus, what a round from Alphier, and I mean that in every sense of the word. What a round from Alphier. Feel a bit peeved off if you're Levin, to be honest. Kayak taking down 2. Well, he's put this round to bed, hasn't he? Aves all alone, finds himself 1 more. The man brought back from the dead man walking.
One way, one player going the other, but the rotation might be caught. Levin's now looking to kill off Boaster as he rotates. It's going to be down to Alpha on the side, but sometimes that's enough. He quickly got 2 kills. And although the spike plant is inevitable, there's still an opportunity for Cloud. Making his way towards Levin. He'll get himself a 1v1 fight, but it's an unfair fight. Keeps that man advantage going, but it's got 14 seconds. They've got to move.
Nice.
12 seconds to make it onto the site. The cross could be held. An opportunity if they can spam this one out. Instead, Crashies is there. They will get that plant in just about. As the swing comes through, it's now left all on to 1. And Narrate, 1 bullet. He's got time to reload, but he's getting spammed at the same time, and eventually Crashies will take us to 12.
And as that clock keeps on ticking, the defuse will be at least tapped to bait out the swing. Abez down, and now 1v1. Okay, it's looking workable for a man like Cloud. He's going to tank that nade, looking to get it to happen. The wrap from Levin is there. 11 on the board for KC.
With their lead dissipating, the walk-up as well, Boaster could be in a bit of trouble. He's setting up a smoke, doesn't realize how close Levin has got. 1 away.
So a slow approach from Cloud, but it looks like they've taken oh my goodness! Alpha and Kayak have shut them down. Cloud should have it all lined up, but he's being caught by Narrate. Crashies all alone will only find 1. And it seemed like a death sentence for KC delaying that long, but well, they've gotten used to playing against Cloud, it seems. We're down 0-5 ending last season. Playoffs wasn't something we ever thought. We just wanted to see them play, for God's sake. And they never got started, but now
is just going to sit and wait in the corner. Are they going to check it? They haven't checked it! And wow, Alpha swings before his teammate can even deal that final blow. A nice shot for Levin, but it's irrelevant. The spike up top, 13-13 initially, and now they're selling a fake on the other side of the map. using the Prowler, using the Neon, but it hasn't made all of the move. Sugetsu's still here. Aves is still here. They sit in the corners, but immediately are cleared. Aves, the second player, but Kayak still gets both. And although they'll be able to potentially get a plant, they're pressuring, they're pushing. The flank was what they're waiting for. Cloud needs to hold the line, and he has. It looked like there were problems with him being the only man there. Instead, he gets them. Didn't know what that would sound like, but now I do. Thanks to Zeiss. Thanks to Levin. Man, they would have been out of this map
long ago.
a long, long time ago if it wasn't for Levin. And he's just going to swing Althea. Yeah, Althea, you know. That guy with multiple trophies under his belt, it means nothing to Levin. A double opener. Looking for a response, but there is no response. Boaster, 1v4. Well, there's days where you might believe in that. I'm not sure this is one of them. He's had troubles individually. Sure, he gets a kill onto Narrate, but it's at the cost of almost all of his health, and Aves is just waiting on the other side. Dosia has a little bit of support. Oh, that's very awkward. An opener that gives them a good position. Levin tried to be the hero. Instead, he's eliminated immediately. The man of the moment is gone. But Aves still alive and kicking Kayak, the bodyguard for the planter. Now Aves is all that's left, and while Althea makes sure that this round doesn't go anywhere else.
With an operator on the other side of the map. And I did just realize he had an operator. I didn't even look for it. And now Fnatic just realized as well.
But he has a teammate alongside him, and that teammate might not be checked. It's only going to be the 1-for-1. Althea needed once again, and he delivers once again. But eventually he will fall just like the others. As the beeps get faster, the likelihood of victory gets slimmer. They're giving him absolutely nothing. It won't be a 16-14 again.
Utilizing this, and he's pushed up in A main. He's going to keep going. This is being watched by Cloud, but a hard shot for Cloud to hit, but he gets there right off rip.
Boaster saw the operator of his opponent in the last and decided anything you can do, I can do better. Sugetsu surely falls, yet no escape. And now Narrate atop the wall wants to try and even, and instead he makes their deficit deeper. I don't think there's any way he expects Cloud to still be it, but timing. Cloud's just about to move, but clearly his spidey senses were tingling.
Sensational, but too tall of a task, surely. And indeed it will be. Fnatic 16 to 15.
19 seconds left for KC to try and make some sort of move, and it's already them the first to fall. It looks like everything will fall apart right at the end for KC. Even Levin can't save them now. A 17-15, 16-14 couple of maps for Fnatic.